Welcome to J&N Excavating and Contracting Incorporated General Site Orientation. Here at J&N Excavating and Contracting Incorporated, safety is a top priority and a core value. In this site orientation, we will outline the expectations we have for all workers and visitors to all of our sites. In this orientation, we will cover general rules, discipline process, responsibilities, duties, principal contractor, incident reporting, emergency response, 3 rights, right to refuse process, personal protective equipment, PPE, training, and documentation. General rules. The following are prohibited: possession or in use of alcohol beverages and/or illegal drugs or non-authorized prescription drugs on company premises or work sites. Using a handheld mobile device while in operation of any motorized vehicle or mobile equipment. Working at heights without fall protection equipment or working in or around an unprotected trench. Operating equipment or tools that are known to be defective or deemed unsafe. Damaging or interfering with safety, first aid, and firefighting. Example, extinguishers. Harassment in any form, physical, verbal, sexual, etc. Theft or vandalism and any other abuse or misuse of company property, horseplay, practical jokes, and fighting. All employees shall adhere to the following safety guidelines. All unsafe acts and conditions, including near-miss incidents and all incidents that result in damage or injury, are to be reported to your supervisor immediately. Every worker shall keep his or her work area neat, clean, and orderly. PPE, personal protective equipment, shall always be worn. Clothing shall be appropriate to duties performed. Arrive for work fit for duty. Workers that are unable to perform their job or task safely constitute a hazard for all workers on site. Tools shall be used as intended. All damaged tools or worn parts shall be repaired, replaced, or removed from service. Only tools that are in good working order with all safety guards in place shall be used. Carry out work in accordance with the appropriate safe work practices and procedures along with your supervisor's direction. Operate all company vehicles and other equipment in accordance with all site rules and all highway regulations. Workers are not permitted to ride on equipment such as hooks, hoists, buckets, or dumps, or other equipment that is not designed for carrying or handling any personnel. Smoking is prohibited on company worksite except where designated. Discipline process. Failure to abide the safety rules results in the following disciplinary action by the company: verbal warning, written warning, suspension, dismissal. Alcohol and drugs consumed on the site and failure to comply with any or all safety will result in immediate termination. If reoccurring failure of any direct or indirect subcontractor of J&N Excavating and Contracting Incorporated to conduct themselves in accordance with the safety rules will result in immediate removing of the subcontractor from site. Responsibilities. Employee shall cooperate with his or her employer with other workers in the workplace to protect his or her own health and safety, the health and safety of other co-workers engaged in the work of the employer, the health and safety of other workers and persons not engaged in the work of the employer but are present or near the work site, shall use devices and equipment provided for his or her protection in accordance with the instructions for use and training provided with respect to the devices and equipment, shall consult and cooperate with the Occupational Health and Safety Committee, the worker and safety representative, and the workplace health and safety designate at the workplace, shall cooperate with an act or regulations. Responsibilities continued. Work in a safe manner. Follow the Occupation and Health Acts and Regulations. Use personal protective equipment, PPE. Of course, it has to be CSA approved. Notify supervisor of hazards. Follow training and manufacturer's instructions. Responsibilities. Employer. An employer shall ensure, where it is reasonably practicable, the health and safety and welfare of his or her workers. Responsibilities. Employer continued. Where reasonably practicable, provide and maintain a workplace and the necessary systems, equipment, and tools that are safe and without any risk to the health of the workers. Where reasonably practicable, provide information, instruction, and the training with supervision and the facilities that are necessary to ensure the health and safety and welfare to the workers. Ensure that the workers, particularly the supervisors, are made familiar with health and/or safety hazards that may be encountered at the workplace. Where reasonably practicable, conduct the undertaking so that persons not in their employment are not exposed to health and/or safety hazards because of the undertaking. Consult and cooperate with the Occupational Health and Safety Committee. Responsibilities: Supervisor. All supervisors shall ensure, where reasonably practicable, the health and safety and welfare of workers under their supervision. Ensure that a worker under their supervision uses or wears personal protective equipment, devices, or other apparel that this act, the regulations, or the worker's employer requires to be used or worn. Duties: Principal Contractor. A principal contractor engaged in a project shall ensure, where it is reasonably practicable for him or her to do so, that employers, workers, and self-employed persons performing work in the respect of that project comply with this act and regulations. Incident reporting. If injured, get first aid as needed. Report to supervisor on day of incident as soon as you can. Seek medical treatment and advise doctor you were hurt on the job at work. Bring Form 810 Doctor's Report Form to employer. Complete Form 6 Worker's Report of Injury and submit it to Workplace NL. Incident reporting continued. Employers: transport injured worker to appropriate medical care as needed. Complete incident report. Include cause or causes of injury with corrective actions to prevent future incidents. Develop early safe return to work plan, ESRTW. Emergency response: muster station, first aid kits, eye wash stations, fire extinguishers, daily numbers. Note: all subcontractors will provide their own first aid kits, eye wash stations, and fire extinguishers. The Health Science Center, Eastern Health, is located at 300 Prince Philip Drive, St. John's, Newfoundland. Emergency number 911, or you can call 709-777-6300. St. Clair's Mercy Hospital is located at 154 Lamarchant Road, St. John's, Newfoundland. Emergency 911, or you can phone 709-777-5000. 3 rights: the right to know, the right to participate, the right to refuse. Right to refuse process. Worker right to refuse unsafe work process. Worker refuses work considered unsafe and immediately tells supervisor what and why they are refusing work. Supervisor must investigate the work refusal. Then supervisor agrees, remedies unsafe condition, and the worker returns to work, resolved. Or supervisor does not agree with work refusal, explains why, and requests work to continue. Worker accepts and returns to work. Resolved. Personal protective equipment, PPE. CSA hard hat, CSA safety eyewear, CSA face protection if required. CSA work boots, CSA high visibility vest, no black or dark background. Specialized personal protective equipment, SPPE, if required. CSA confined space equipment, CSA fall protection equipment, CSA respirators, CSA hearing protection. Training: WMIS, standard first aid, fall protection, power line hazards, trenching and excavating, and confined space. Documentation required: hazard assessment, pre-job and scope of work, work site inspections, formal and informal, safety toolbox meetings, and weekly site inspections. Important information: general site orientation is valid for 1 year. Before arriving to work sites, the lead hand will review site specifics. All personal protective equipment must be maintained and supplied by employee. Always think safe and work safe. Ask yourself, what am I doing? What can go wrong? How can I prevent an incident from happening? This is the end of the J&N Excavating and Contracting Incorporated General Site Orientation. Thank you for participating.